Well, folks, it's been a good while. I really haven't done many videos this season, but I thought I'd do an update of some of the things I have growing on in the polytunnel. So the first one is this here, which is a Kajari melon. I could be wrong on that name, but this apparently is an heirloom melon from India, I think, and was initially sold by Rare Seeds. I think the botanical explorer Joseph Simcox was the one that kind of brought this to the world. So I had a few melons on that there in amongst the clover. Really looking forward to trying those. I'll show you this over here actually. This is my pepino melon. This is the first for me as well. I think it's in the potato tomato family, and we have some melons growing on this here, which is great. Fairly fast grower. This is grown from seed earlier on this year. The spider mites unfortunately seem to like this a lot, although it doesn't seem to be slowing it down too much. Now I don't know how long it will take for these to ripen up. Hopefully we'll have enough time before the end of the season for them to get going, but looking good. It's in a pot, so I'm debating whether to bring this in during the winter or not. This will not survive outside, and it is a perennial. Here is my little wimpish looking pawpaw tree, still in the ground. I know these take a good while to establish, but still alive. I think I probably should have given this a bit more shade. Some of the leaves have fallen off it, but it's still alive, so hopefully it'll come too. Another thing I'm growing is sweet potatoes, which same variety as last year. I saved some of these and I'm trying an experiment. I have some in the ground here and they've kind of sprawled all over the place there, and I have two in grow bags here. So these grow bags are made from hemp and they're fully biodegradable. I have no idea how many seasons they would last, but I wanted to see how many or what the yield would be like in this grow bag compared to in the ground. I watched a video of a guy in Tipperary, I think, growing them in grow bags, and he got a better yield. And according to him, he reckons that these soil temperatures played a big part in that. So having these exposed to a bit more heat than the ground might do, or might help with the yield. So next thing then is this here, which is my Apios americana. This is also getting hit hard by the spider mites, unfortunately. Although it, like the pepinos, doesn't seem to be slowing up. So I have these in pots here, kind of hard to see, and they're kind of half buried in the ground. And I took this idea from a grower in the UK. I think our website is Incredible Vegetables. So I've been growing these outside and they've done okay. There's very, very poor yield often, so I think they prefer the heat. That's why I have them in here, and I'm growing them in pots so that I can get a better yield. Well, not get a better yield, so that they're easier to dig out. They're very, very small tubers and they form like a long stem in between, or sorry, maybe a root in between each tuber, and they can be hard to dig out of the ground. So once they're in the pots, might make it that bit easier to harvest them. Next thing to show you is my Pakistani, which I still haven't gotten rid of. I don't know what it is. I just can't bring myself to chop it down. We do have some berries on it. All of the berries that that appeared on the tree earlier on the season dropped, unfortunately. Unlike last year, they hung on. This year they dropped again. So I gave it a bit of a summer prune. I probably could have pruned a bit earlier, but they've put out some berries now. Not a huge amount, only a paltry amount. So anyway, let's hope they ripen up and are nice, or at least let's hope they hang on at the very least. Next thing then is ginger. This is Myoga ginger, or Japanese ginger. This is cold, hardy to our climate, so it should be fine in the ground. And you wouldn't eat this the same way as ginger, apparently, so you don't dig up the tubers. What you do is eat the flowers off this. Now, these are still pretty young. I suspect they're still establishing themselves. So I'll leave these two in the ground. I have another one in a pot that seems to be doing okay. Fairly slow growers, but you know, it remains to be seen how well they do. Next thing to show you is my popcorn patch. Actually, all the figs are doing great. Well, not all of them. There are lots of figs here. Going to be a massive yield this year, but unfortunately, we have those little flies, fruit flies again, seem to be rampant. We've had a few rats in here that have gotten to them, and then rats will take a chunk out of a fig, and then the fruit flies will just move in then, and now we have an established population of them. I don't know if you can see them all hanging around on this thing here. There's one there, look. And so I've a few figs that have spoiled for me, unfortunately. So at the moment I'm kind of harvesting them slightly early, which I don't really want to do, but I'm going to get some organza bags and maybe some more rat traps. I actually have some here, but they haven't done their what they're supposed to do. I did have figs in there for the rats to take, but I think they're just going for the ones off the tree, so I'm going to put peanut butter in there and hopefully they'll go for that. But in any case, my popcorn patch, so I grew some popcorn last year that I forgot about. I was actually just one, and yeah, I did a video on it, and the popcorn was amazing. It tasted really nice, and I really like growing things that have a long shelf life. So once these cobs are dried, they will last a very long time. Unfortunately, however, they haven't yielded that well. They're very tall growers, they're up to the roof, but just feeling some of these here, there's not a huge amount on it. Now, to be fair, that could be a pollination issue. I'm not entirely sure. But then there's some comps that are looking pretty good, so I don't know, maybe it's down to the variety. But yeah, I'll probably save some of the seed off the ones that do well this year. I have a few different varieties there, and then just grow them next year. But yeah, that's how she's looking at the moment. Very much like a jungle. And oh wow, Smith is starting to ripen up. That'll be the earliest the Smith's ever ripened up for me, which is cool. Still in August. Normally Smith ripens at the beginning of September, maybe at the very end of August, but we're still mid-August. That's pretty cool. Anyway, take it easy, folks. I'll probably do a few more videos now in the next few weeks.